What if the universe is actually a conscious entity? For centuries, philosophers and scientists have been fascinated by the idea that the universe can be a conscious entity, a self-conscious being, as if it were a living organism. Let's remember that even in the Holy Bible, it says that the stars were so happy that God created man that they started singing with joy. Now, a very interesting idea that has a growing wave of supporters in the scientific community, although it's difficult to categorically refute nor to scientifically confirm, the indisputable evidence has begun to develop. Could the universe be conscious? Now, we know that from heart math, the scientists there have even found evidence that our prayers can even stop solar storms. Let's put it that way. Now, as mentioned in the secret code, the concept of pamphleteering, quote unquote, implies that the universe is a self-conscious entity and that the stars and other celestial bodies have the ability to think and control their ways and destinations. Gregory Matloff, a physicist at the New York School of Technology, recently published a new article on the subject, suggesting that, quote, a field of first consciousness, end quote, could spread across the universe like humans, the entire universe, and he can know himself together and all the events around him and with him, for example, for life on planets, black holes, meteorites, star deaths, and many more. One of the facts found by Matloff is that some stars emit fleeting jets pointing in one direction, a process that's balanced and could make the star change its motion at will. That is, it's probably an action that can be deliberate, conscious process. The work of the physicist Sir Roger Penrose about 30 years ago was the cornerstone of the current interest in psychosis. He expressed the idea that the universe is based on the statistical rules of quantum physics in relation to the tiny spaces between brain neurons and a conscious being that a conscious being can have. The idea is reflected in the German physicist Bernhard Heisch, who suggested that quantum fields in a vacuum are responsible for transmitting consciousness whenever it manifests, not just in the case of the human brain, but in any complex structure, he explains. Maybe in the distant future we can, as a species, find a scientific way to understand or have a connection to a small part of the universe and thus answer these existential questions about the vast world in which we live. Until then, we live in those who support various traditions, religions, and philosophies around the world, but also in those who claim to have this kind of contact. So they recognize that the universe is indeed an entity with self-awareness, and that we, along with our solar system and everything else we see, is part of a single neuron of this inconceivable universal entity. And this I've translated for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.